Derek Falvey runs the Twins. I'm looking forward to this because I've been here. I got a little sense of Minnesota historically. We'll do that in a minute. Now, he grew up in Lynn, Massachusetts, which is not too far from downtown Boston. He's a Patriot fan, and all he does is see winners, and he says hello. Derek, welcome. How are you today? Okay, pal?
Hey, great to be on, Chris. Thanks for having me.
How big a Patriot fan are you, Derek? Are you a huge fan or no?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I grew up in the Boston area and had some lean years when I was younger, and then when I got into college was when they started that run. So it was quite an experience to watch them. They're certainly a model organization on many fronts.
They are. Belichick is. So let's do coaching first. You like to, you know what a good coach is, and a manager, same sort of thing. What, in your eyes, Derek? What makes Belichick so special? You got a thought there on him, about the Patriot head coach and how good he's been?
I have some contacts that have worked with the Patriots and been around him over the years. And I think what I've heard stands out. I don't know him personally, but what I've heard stands out is just how he holds everyone to such a high standard and the consistency with the way he approaches each and every day. It's an impressive, consistent approach to leadership and development of that organization, and it's something that we aspire to here.
Now, I understand it's a little different in football with a guy like him, but if you have a guy who's that great and you're an owner or you're the president of the operation, you gotta let him do what he wants to do, correct? I mean, if he wants to do this, draft this guy, trade Garoppolo, you in that situation, what are you gonna do? You can't tell Belichick what to do. He's won 5 Super Bowls, so you gotta leave him alone. Is that correct?
He's earned the right, certainly, over the years to put his stamp on what he likes. And I'm confident that he wields a lot of power there, but it's well earned, no question.
No question. All right. The other thing that's interesting, Derek, I've been here for the 3 days, and you know me. I love to ask the Uber drivers, the guys who bounce me around here and there, who've been living in Minnesota forever, about the Twins. And I'm telling you, I've been really impressed. This franchise in this area, and I knew it was a good franchise, but there is a strong bond you have with your fan base. I mean, they love. I mean, it's right there at the Vikings. I mean, they love this team. Killebrew, Carew, Jack Morris. We go on and on. I did not realize the bond that existed in the Twin Cities with this franchise until the last 3 or 4 days that it was this strong. How about you being in Massachusetts, being out here now, running the ball club? Give me some thoughts on that for a sec.
No doubt about it. I would tell you that this fan base is incredibly passionate about their sports. I mean, we saw it recently with the Vikings, and certainly for us last year, charging toward the playoffs. I mean, the fans come out and they support us here, and there's a deep connection to the region. I mean, with Paul Molitor as our manager, a St. Paul, Minnesota native, and you just mentioned guys like Jack Morris and so many others, Justin Morneau and Dan Gladden and others who live in the area that are part of this organization. I could go on and on. It's impressive to see the connection that this region has, this baseball club, and I just feel really fortunate to be part of it.
Yeah, the Twins and Vikings got here in the same year, folks, in 1961, and they both the Twins have won a couple of championships. The Vikings have yet to win one. All right, how about this year? After last year's good season with 85 wins and in the postseason, you've been dabbling around as far as free agency is concerned. You've fortified your bullpen with Reed and Rodney. There's still a lot of pitchers out there. You can use another one, Derek. What can you tell me as far as the next couple of weeks are concerned before we head down to Fort Myers, as far as this Twins team is concerned, as far as additions go? What do you have in mind here?
We looked at this team and knew we had to add from the pitching standpoint. So you just mentioned a few guys like Rodney and Addison Reed, and along with Zach Duke to help build out the back of our pen. And then got creative a bit with a Michael Pineda signing that carries on through next year, and we think he'll be healthy at the back end of this year, could provide a boost for us in September. We'll see where that goes and going into 2019. But we still have opportunity. As you mentioned, there are a number of players who are still on the board, and we're active in those conversations daily. So I think we have a chance to add to the group that'll go down to Fort Myers, and I'm excited about the step forward for this team in 2018.
Good job. I forgot about Pineda. That was a very good move. Yeah, it was low risk, high reward. That was smart. I'm with you 100%. Who knows? Gets himself healthy. Watch him really harness all that talent that he has. That was a good decision there. All right, how about, I know you got a little indecision here with one of your players. We're not going to get into this investigation, but it does make it a little tricky because, he's got a big bat, Sano, and who knows what's going to occur here. So it's hard sometimes to deal with your ball club knowing that a big part of that middle of the order, who knows what could happen, suspension, what have you. That could be tricky as far as the beginning of the year goes. What can you tell me about that?
Well, we focus on, in Miguel's case, we focus on what we need to do around his rehab right now, which is he had surgery at the end of the year, missed that wild card game. but we feel he's on the right track from a physical standpoint. As you mentioned, with respect to the investigation with Major League Baseball, that's something that will be handled through Major League Baseball, and we'll deal with that at the appropriate time. But our focus on Miguel right now is to make sure that he's healthy and ready to be available when that time comes, come the season. And I'm happy with the progress he's made there.
You know, listen, I know this sounds wacky when you look at the wins. It's easier, and you probably agree, Derek, it might be easier to get from 60 to 80 than it is to get from 85 to 92. I mean, I know that sounds wacky, but, you know, those extra 7 or 8 wins to really become a, you know, big-time postseason team, those, I think, in a lot of ways in the sport is harder than to get back to respectability. What's your take about that?
No question. I don't disagree with that at all. I see that the challenging step in my mind is always the next step and how you get to that upper echelon. We know that teams like Houston and Cleveland and Boston and New York and other teams that got further in the playoffs, we know who they are, and they're the standard bearers right now. So we measure ourselves up against them, and our guys, they don't back down from any challenges. There's no question about that. We'll take a step forward in competing with that group. That's our goal this year as soon as we start out.
Are you going to the game on Sunday?
I fortunately am. My wife and I are gonna take in a hometown team playing a Super Bowl in our new hometown, so it'll be fun.